Hello, folks. I am in hotel rooms right outside of Salt Lake City. Tomorrow will be my final day in Utah, and Thursday I will go to Miami to meet up with Steve Gosney. And we will have a meetup in Miami at Julia and Henry's Eatery, Saturday the 20th, 6 p.m. local time. I have set up so there is a stream. Hopefully, I will get enough to put my camera phone up and stream from this meetup. Hello, folks. Hello. Snarky P, half Irish, Didi, Mirage, who else is here? Kathy, hello, Gwendolyn, Riven Cap, and all the rest of you. Let's show you on stage. Now, I'm talking a bit silent because it's 10 p.m. Mountain Time and in a hotel room because I wanted somewhat secure, somewhat good internet so I could stream to you guys. Hi, Tanya. Hey, little D. Hi, K. Schmidt. All right, so what we are going to watch is the first appearance of Tyler Robinson, the person charged for the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And I've listened to it, and there are some things that is there, that should be there, but there are also, because there's a lot of information out there. You have the sources say, and then you have the FBI, Kash Patel, who for his life can't shut up about this investigation. with information and all of a sudden texts. And yeah, so we will go through Charlie Kirk's first appearance. I will pause as per usual and blab about what I believe. Hey, what's going on here? Okay, so let's try to get this going. Let me know if you have good sound, by the way. Let me know if you have good sound. Let's see here. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. All right, let's go.
Judge Graff. Good afternoon. My name is Judge Graff. I will be handling the first appearance calendar today. At the conclusion of the hearing, for the first case, the court will take a recess and remind all those who are scheduled for the first appearance calendar to log back in 15 minutes after the court has taken a recess. As a general note, no electronic usage is allowed unless pre-approved. Any disruptions will be removed. To the jail, are we ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Calling case 251-403-576, State of Utah versus Tyler James Robinson. Could you state your name?
Tyler James Robinson.
Thank you for being here, Mr. Robinson. I'm Judge Graff.
Well, he doesn't
Mr.
have
Scoris.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. You're probably already aware of my presence or why I'm here, but if not, I am not entering an appearance. I'm not counsel on this case. I'm working with the county to get counsel assigned, but we need you to allow for the appointment of counsel.
Thank you, Mr. Scoris. I want to go through the...
Yeah, first of all, so Tyler Robinson has no counsel yet. So he has been in custody since late Thursday and still no counsel. I don't know why, but for the sake of the future of this case, why hasn't he been appointed at least a temporary attorney to represent him? Because you can bet your ass he's been interrogated the entire weekend. So, yeah, let's just hope that local law enforcement and local FBI really put everything on the record and followed all the procedure. Texas Annie says maybe he's refusing. Yeah, that could be one of the reasons. He might just be quiet and doesn't even say, I refuse, I want counsel, I don't know. Because according to a Supreme Court decision from 2000 and something, to my recollection at least, you can correct me if I'm wrong, just staying silent is not a person invoking their rights to remain silent. You have to actively say it. It's not enough by just clamming up.
Qualifications
Absolutely.
for indigency, but that is my intent, Mr. Scoris.
Very well.
And I thank you for being here. So, Mr. Robinson, you have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, the court can appoint an attorney to represent you. I have reviewed your declaration of financial status and find that you are indigent. I'm provisionally appointing a rule.
Yep. So that paperwork is at least gone through. He has no money, which tells us that his family will not pay a dime for Tyler, because we do know that the family is well off, even very well off. So no help from family. Tough luck, kid.
A qualified attorney to represent you on your case, Mr. Robinson. Along with their filing of their appearance of counsel, the assigned attorneys must file declarations with the court that outline their qualifications under Rule 8 and Rule 8C, under Rule 8B and Rule 8C for counsel appointment in a case where death may be a sentencing option.
Yeah, since this is a death penalty case, he can't just have any attorney. He has to have an attorney who in Utah is a certified death penalty defense attorney. I don't know if this is something in every state, but I do know it's that way in Florida, it's that way in Utah. I believe most states that has the death penalty, if not all states, you have to have that certification, because there is a difference in the rules regarding discovery, how the motions and everything, since with the death penalty, I believe it's that way in Utah as well, that it's first a trial regarding guilt, and then it's the trial regarding death or life.
I'm ordering that those declarations be filed prior to the next hearing date, which is set for September 29th at 10 a.m. Mr. Robinson, I also wish to inform you of your right against self-incrimination. Anything that you say in court today could be used against you, and we want to protect your constitutional rights. Mr. Robinson, at this time, you will remain in custody without bail. Mr. Skordas, is there any other points that you wish to address?
No, thank you very much, Your Honor.
Turning to the state.
Yes, Your Honor. Chad Grunander for.
So the person who, which we heard a few minutes ago, he does not represent Tyler. He's just there as a formality. Probably the person who, hey, you need to have these documents sent in. You have no cash and stuff like that, but does not represent in the proceeding. So going forward, there will probably not be a new hearing until he has a court-appointed attorney who is also death penalty certified. And as I saw in chat, if there aren't anyone available at the moment, he has to wait for it. And I also say, so in the chat, let's see here if I can find it again. As Gigi says, Tyler here has to have the best defense that he doesn't have money for, because this will test our limits. This case, when we say the worst, we have to protect the rights of the worst of them, we are talking about this guy. We, or the court, the justice system, cannot afford taking shortcuts here. Which is also why I am absolutely furious at Kash Patel and these anonymous sources who keep leaking, who keep talking about things that later on is, hey, turns out it was bullshit. Because those things the defense can and will use in order to, hey, he can't get a fair trial in the entire state of Utah. Hey, he can't get a fair trial anywhere in the United States. Hey, Kash Patel is out there on morning of midday, afternoon, and nighttime TV spewing everything about the investigation. And all of that can and will be used by the defense. And it should, because, folks, worst case scenario here, but a case scenario, maybe not the worst case scenario. If the government and the state fucks this up to the extent that the judge has no choice but to say, I can't give him a fair trial because we have these government representatives who keep blabbing about the investigation, what's going on in the investigation, we have all the leaks. Is it a strong possibility? No, it's very low. But it is a possibility that the state actually can fuck this up. Because if anyone can, the government can. Yeah, it's only a state case for now. Doesn't mean that the FBI isn't involved with their investigation and then handing it over to local PD. But we have seen how local PD police departments can screw up royally. We have seen that in many cases here on this channel. Sorry. So, for the love of everything, sorry, play this by the book. Because if the defense somehow pulls a miracle, it's not their fault. It's the state's fault. Because if the state fucks up, they need to be held responsible, including but not limited to local Congress, US congresspersons, US senators, Kash Patel. Everyone should be blamed if they fuck this up.
The state. I'm also joined, and they're listed as attendees, Ryan McBride, Lauren Hunt, David Sturgill, and Chris Ballard. We are the trial team on this case. I do have a few points I'd like to bring up with your honor. We have filed a pretrial protective order on behalf of Erica Kirk. We would ask the court to review that. It should be in your queue, your honor, and sign that.
Thank you. I have reviewed the pretrial protective order and will be issuing this pretrial protective order in favor of Erica Kirk. Is there any other business that we need to address today, counsel?
Just for the court's information, we did file just recently, within the last few minutes, a notice of intent to seek the death penalty that was filed by Utah County Attorney Jeff Gray. So that should be in the court's file. Lastly, I would just indicate to the court and to, at this point, Mr. Robinson, that we are prepared to collect all of the discovery in this matter and get that turned over to the defense as soon as possible. Rule 16 requires us to provide what we have relied on in charging the information and bringing these charges within 5 days once it's requested. So that'll be prepared to disseminate to the defense as soon as possible.
Thank you, Mr. Grunander. Mr. Robinson, what I also want to...
This is at least an indication that that guy takes this seriously. But he can't control the rest of the state. But at least he is trying. He seems determined to play this by the book from start to finish.
Do is you have the right to have the charges read that you stand charged of, and I wish to read those to you at this time.
Okay, here are the actual charges.
Thank you. Mr. Robinson, for count 1, aggravated murder, a capital felony in violation of Utah Code annotated 76-5-2 202, in that on September 10th, 2025 in Utah County, the defendant, Tyler James Robinson, intentionally or knowingly caused the death of Charlie Kirk under the following circumstances. The defendant knowingly created a great risk of death to another individual other than Charlie Kirk and the defendant. Notice conviction of this offense may carry the death penalty or pursuant to Utah Code 76.3-207.7, a mandatory term of imprisonment.
Yeah. This is one of the aggravating reasons for the death penalty. He risked other people. In that, my assumption here is that since he fired from a distance, he can't control what happens on the way there. He could have coughed, sneezed, whatever. But also, with that firearm, with that ammunition, it could have struck somebody behind Charlie Kirk. So that is one of the aggregating factors. I would assume that the state will bring up other aggregating factors just in case. Maybe not at this point, but they can always amend the charging document.
For life without parole or an indeterminate term of not less than 25 years, that may be for life. Victim targeting enhancement in violation of Utah Code annotated 76-3-203.14 sub 2. Tyler James Robinson intentionally selected Charlie Kirk because of Tyler James Robinson's belief or perception regarding Charlie Kirk's political expression. Notice if the trier of fact finds beyond a reasonable doubt that the victim targeting enhancement applies, the sentencing judge or the Board of Pardons and Parole shall consider the defendant's selection of the victim as an aggravating factor. Violent offense committed in the presence of a child aggravating factor, the sentencing judge or the Board of Pardons and Parole shall consider as an aggravating factor in their deliberations that the defendant committed a violent criminal offense in the presence of a child. Count 2, felony discharge of a firearm causing serious bodily injury, a first-degree felony in violation of Utah Code annotated 76-11-210 sub 2 and 3C, in that on September 10th, 2025 in Utah County, the defendant Tyler James Robinson discharged a firearm in the direction of Charlie Kirk, knowing or having reason to believe that Charlie Kirk may be endangered by the discharge of the firearm and that the act caused serious bodily injury to Charlie Kirk. Victim targeting enhancement in violation of Utah Code annotated 76-3-203.14 sub 2. Tyler James Robinson intentionally selected Charlie Kirk because Tyler James Robinson's belief or perception regarding Charlie Kirk's political expression. Notice if the trier of fact finds beyond a reasonable doubt that the victim targeting enhancement applies, the sentencing judge or the Board of Pardons and Parole shall consider the defendant's selection of the victim as an aggravating factor. Violent offense committed in the presence of a...
Yeah, so now they are adding aggregating factors. This happened in front of children, Charlie's children. This was, according to the state, because of Charlie's political view. That is also an aggravating factor. All of this counts into, should the death penalty not apply, he will never face the outside of a prison again. But also it will count towards the possibility for the state to argue the death penalty.
Child aggravating factor. The sentencing judge or the Board of Pardons and Parole shall consider an aggravating factor in their deliberations that the defendant committed a violent offense in the presence of a child. Count 3, obstruction of justice, a second-degree felony in violation of Utah Code annotated 76-8-306 sub 2, in that on September 10th, 2025 in Utah County, the defendant Tyler James Robinson, with intent to hinder, delay, or prevent the investigation, apprehension, prosecution, conviction, or pursuant to any person regarding conduct that constitutes a criminal offense, conceal or remove the firearm used to shoot Charlie Kirk, and the conduct that constitutes an offense would be a capital felony or a first-degree felony. Count 4, obstruction of justice, a second-degree felony in violation of Utah Code 76-8-306 sub 2. In that on or about September 11th, 2025 in Utah County, the defendant, Tyler James Robinson, with an intent to hinder, delay, or prevent the investigation, apprehension, prosecution, conviction, or punishment of any person regarding conduct that constitutes a criminal offense, destroyed, concealed, or removed the clothing he wore during the shooting, and the conduct that constitutes an offense would be a capital felony or first-degree felony. Count 5, tampering with a witness, a third-degree felony in violation of Utah Code Annotated 76-8-508, in that on or about September 10th, 2025 in Utah County, the defendant, Tyler James Robinson, believed that an official proceeding or investigation was pending or about to be instituted or intended to prevent an official proceeding or investigation, and attempted to induce or otherwise cause his roommate to withhold testimony, information, a document, or an item, to wit, directing his roommate to delete incriminating text messages.
What is said here is interesting in this particular charge. He tried to get his roommate to delete things. Here's something interesting, what is not said. They don't call the roommate boyfriend, partner, or anything else. This might change in the future, but if this was a concluded romantic relationship, it probably would have said so. As of now, it's just roommates. Again, this might change. We don't know. They can amend the charging documents. But who knows? Who knows? And regarding that, apparently, according to information online, do with it as you please. The roommate is not a furry. The roommate may not be transitioning into another gender. It might just be roommates or a gay couple. But we will, as this case moves along, further down the line, later this fall, in the winter, spring. Folks, he won't stand trial, and I would assume for at least a year.
Count 6, tampering with a witness, a third-degree felony in violation of Utah Code Annotated 76-8-508, in that on or about September 11th, 2025 in Utah County, the defendant, Tyler James Robinson, believed that an official proceeding or investigation was pending or about to be instituted or intended to prevent an official proceeding or investigation, and attempted to induce or otherwise cause his roommate to withhold testimony or information, to wit, directing his roommate to stay silent if the police questioned the roommate. Count 7, violent offense committed in the presence of a child, a Class A misdemeanor in violation of Utah Code Annotated 76-3-203.10 sub 2 and 76-3-203.14 sub 3a little double I, in that on or about September 10th, 2025 in Utah County, the defendant, Tyler James Robinson, committed criminal homicide in the physical presence of a child younger than 14 years of age, with knowledge that a child was present and that may have been seen or heard the commission of the criminal homicide. Victim targeting enhancement in violation of Utah Code Annotated 76-3-203.14 Sub 2, Tyler James Robinson intentionally selected Charlie Kirk because of Tyler James Robinson's belief or perception regarding Charlie Kirk's political expression. That concludes reading the information. Mr. Robinson, this case is set for September 29th at 10 a.m. It will be a waiver hearing, and I will be the judge assigned to this case. Mr. Robinson, I invite you to join us at that time. Is there anything further, counsel?
No, Your Honor, we'll have counsel appointed by then. Thank you.
Mr. Gurander, anything further?
One item, just for clarification, Your Honor, the hearing on the 29th, is that in person or WebEx?
Thank you. That is a great question. It will be via WebEx.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
All right. I want to thank all parties for being here, and this concludes this hearing at this time. Court is in recess.
All right. Yeah, that was, that's it. That's all we get to know at this point in time. We got the charges read to us, and as I said, it's interesting what's in there, but also what's not in there. And it's everything in this time completely by the book. Excellent by everybody involved. Now, 29th, another hearing. I will be back home by then, by the way. Hopefully I can live stream that when I get home. And Mr. Robinson will probably have, hopefully he has counsel by then, or at least somebody who can go in these initial hearings until a death penalty certified attorney has been provided to him. Oh, look at that. Thank you. Horse welfare. Who is watching Mr. Jingles and does he get upset when you are out of town? My cousins are looking after Mr. Jingles, making sure that he is fed and cuddled and everything. Is he upset? No. Last year when I got home, he just looked at me and said, okay, you're home. And then he, as long as Mr. Jingles get fed, he is good. Thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah, this month so far has been, I mean, I produced shorts, I have produced some videos, but I haven't been able to stream much. So the income this month is low regarding, but I will manage. Hopefully you can show up on Saturday, 6 p.m. Florida time, when me and Gosney are having our meetup at Julia's and Henry's in Miami. Julia's and Henry's. I have prepared a live stream for it. Hopefully I can get this working so you can, if you're not there, you can at least watch. And yeah. And on the 24th, I will fly back home again. And on the 27th, I go back to work. But I mean, I've had a glorious time here in the United States this year as well. And every time I'm here, now Utah is too hot for me. I'm Scandinavian. I mean, in my DNA, I gather heat. And yeah, so, but again, every time I'm here, I need to relocate here when I retire. And as I said on X a couple of days ago, in order for me to relocate, I also have to abandon the government pension, which means $3,000 a month, roughly. I have to say no to, because I can't keep my government pension if I am outside of Sweden. So I need 1.6 million and a green card. Now, people have offered, hey, you don't need a green card, let's get married. So I have 3 marriage proposals. So, but yeah, we will see what happens. But I will keep covering this case, the Tyler Robinson case, the assassination of Charlie Kirk, because, folks, the manhunt is over. The guy who most probably did it is in custody. Now we enter the phase of the justice system. He is now presumed innocent. The state must prove every aspect of their charges beyond a reasonable doubt. And they have to do it by the book, because they can't fuck this up. They really cannot fuck this up. So if there is a new hearing, I will cover it. But I tell you, the trial is probably a year or more away. Other than that, I'm going to keep covering keep reading the Delphi trial transcript when I get home. Also, the Kelsey Fitzsimmons case, that interests me, because the judge there seems to be determined that she will try to out-screw Judge Bev. It's really bad. It's really, really bad what that judge is doing to Kelsey Fitzsimmons. So, let's hope they won't fuck this up. I will cover it and other cases as per usual. But that is all I had for you for this time. It is now. I froze a bit. It's now 10:37 p.m. I have to be up at 6 a.m. So I'm going to hit the sack. Thank you everybody for showing up, and thank you for the super chat. Hit the thumbs up. Watch my other videos. I need the ad revenue, and and I will see you all in the next stream or video. Okay? See you. Bye-bye.
Slightly muzzle on him with a slight grin. Picks apart a cases where the truth's been thin. Sharp tongue firing like a rebel's hell. Justice served with a snarky spin. Nick's got the mic and is breaking it down. Lego chaos spinning all around. Laughing at the lies at the courts of crown. Riding the edge where truth is found. Coffee's cold, but the witch stays hot. Poking at the holes in the legal plot. With a tilt of the glass, he connects the dots. The courtroom's wild and he calls the shots. Nick's got the mic and is breaking it down. Lego chaos spinning all around. Laughing at the lies at the courts of crown. Riding the edge where truth is found. Yeah. justice